Alright, so this video is just to tackle some questions on my water meth, how I have it set up, because I do have port. So I've got 6 nozzles there, 1 nozzle here, so a total of 7. I have a controller in the car, which basically controls all those 6. This one here, the controller does not do anything for it. I basically have a hob switch that activates my pump. So I do have a Snow, I think it was a VC30, that controls these, comes on at, it's a 2-stage, so it comes on at like 10 psi and then full quench at 15 or whatever I decide to set it through that day. But this pump, I don't have hooked up to the controller. I've got this pump hooked up to a hob switch. So at 3 psi of boost, this pump gets powered on directly. It's not powered by my controller. I have this line over here. So I have a nozzle right there inside an 034 filter, basically tapped it. I got this little, it's hard to see in the video, but I got a little plastic bung piece that you can thread into it. The nut is on the outside, and then I have a 6 gallon per hour nozzle inside this holder. One-way valve line goes up here. This is the actual line that goes to the filter, goes to the check valve just in case that one-way valve was to fail. Check valve opens up, it's powered with the same circuit as the pump on that hob switch. So at 3 psi, pump comes on, valve opens up, this line is active at 3 psi and I'm injecting at my filter. These 6 do not come on at 3 psi. The controller activates it, whatever it is, 10, 15 psi, whatever I have it set at. So the way I've done this is this is my output from the pump. It goes into this little T right here. I've got a line going to these valves. So this line that you go here goes into a splitter in the back and then comes to these 2 banjo manifolds on each side, right? One on each side. And so one of the line goes to the 6 ports, the other line goes to the valves. All right, so I've got the pump, one going to the 6 ports, one going to my air filter, which is this valve right here. 6 psi, 3 psi, it opens up, pump up, powers on, feeds the filter, and at that 10 psi, these come on. So this is basically to cool the intake air charge, and this is mainly, it's going to help cool the intake air charge, but mainly increase the octane. So that's basically my setup. Where's my reservoir? Well, the reservoir is actually coolant reservoir. All right, so I'm actually not coolant reservoir. My apologies, the windshield wash reservoir. I barely use windshield wash, so I just decided to use that. I mix my own meth, basically 50-50 by weight, and that's it. I've never had any issues. So even sucking it all the way up to the pump over here. So thought I'd do a little more detailed bit on this, being that I'm just doing a replacement of my master cylinder and I had access to it all. The pump itself, I do have detuned. They come, I think, at like 280 psi or such. I remember doing a video on that. I had detuned it to 150. Now I have it at 180. So that's basically the head pressure that I have. How do I know that? Because I have this pressure transducer right here on the line. I got this from US Rally Team, so USRT. Guys over there are excellent. I have this basically electronic sensor going into my dash, and that basically tells me on my P3 gauge how much pressure I've got. So I know if I'm clogged, if it's over pressure, if I've got a drop in pressure, whatever it may be, I know what pressure I've got going on when all these 7 jets are open and functioning. All right, have a nice day.